Alrighty guys, Crypto Mac here, bringing you another crypto video. Today we're going to take a look at Chainlink, do an update video. I haven't spoken about this coin for a while, so thought I was well overdue to do a video on it, so I thought I'd do one today. Have a heap to talk about, a bunch of different charts, analysis, and yeah, just thought I'd come on to an update video. So I want to say this video is not financial advice, guys. Please do your own research. Looking at Chainlink, we can see major bounce here, which was somewhat predicted, as we saw. This is our last low, our local low that we saw coming off the all-time high price, which feels like it was a long time ago because it was. Where Chainlink hit $52 back in May 2021, so we're coming up on nearly a year ago, and we've seen a bounce. Down here we're only up about 57%, which still is like a pretty decent amount, 57%. But to consider the fact that we're down from this top was 69%, and from the all-time high we're down a massive 66 to the current price, and then all up it was about an 80% correction. So we're up about 50% when a lot of altcoins are up more than that, right? Some coins are up 100%, 200%, with similar market caps. So we haven't seen the big bounce yet for Chainlink, but I want to discuss that in more detail in a bit. The other thing I want to look at is this symmetrical triangle for Chainlink. And we can see this is obviously going to be a major resistance line to break through, and could be really important to show where Link's heading in the short to mid term. I'd say if we can break this, so if we can get up, it only needs to rise Chainlink about another 20-30% to get to this line, which will be somewhere in the low 20s. Hopefully we can break this line and trend higher. As we can see, major support line, and then a key moment right here where it was resistance. So not ideal. So we can tell there's definitely gonna be some strong resistance moving forward. If you look at the Link Bitcoin chart, this is what I want to get into, the Link Bitcoin chart. We can see this descending triangle, which is bearish, but I believe Link, it's held support a few times, basically held it here, held support here, almost touched it there, and then support here as well. So we can see support on the bottom, and then obviously resistance on this top line. So Link needs about a 40% move to break this high. And if it could break this high, then it could really, if we're looking optimistic, we could really see a move to the upside, like that. If Chainlink does break this line, it could be pretty important. But this is what I've got circled here. This is what I want to discuss. If we look at the big run Chainlink had, this right here is all-time high price, right? So this is, Chainlink had a big run back in early 2020, but that was when Bitcoin was kind of moving steady. And then interestingly, most altcoins will tend to outperform Bitcoin when Bitcoin is moving upwards in an uptrend. But through that period, this is what Chainlink did. Chainlink went down against Bitcoin. Bitcoin outperformed Chainlink whilst Chainlink was going up. Like if we look at the Link chart, in this period of time between August 2020 to late 2020, that's about this period here. So Link was in an uptrend. It was heading up and then continued to move up as well, all the way through early 2021. And that was where Chainlink started to actually outperform Bitcoin and go on its big run. So what I'm noticing is that when Bitcoin, if we pull up the Bitcoin chart and go to this period, Bitcoin really started its first rally at around October 2020, right? And October 2020 for Chainlink was mostly a sideways few months in that period where Bitcoin itself started its run. And then after this sideways movement, Chainlink went up. And so we've seen now Bitcoin starting its move back to the upside, and we haven't seen much movement from Chainlink, just a small move to the upside. So what I'm getting at is that there could be historically a delay for where Chainlink starts to have its run. And we've seen altcoins, Zilliqa, Cardano's doing okay, Rune Thorchain that I speak about. There's a few coins that are performing well already as Bitcoin has moved, from mid 30k to 46k where it's at now. But we haven't seen Chainlink really make that move. And as I just spoke about last time, that's what we saw, was it's kind of somewhat uptrend, but mostly just in this period right here, it was just kind of sideways movement, up and down, no real move. And then we saw it happen, right? Then we saw this big move to the upside. Chainlink hit all-time high and outperformed Bitcoin, as we saw right here. Well outperformed it. We held support here, went up, outperformed Bitcoin by 200%, and Bitcoin hit all-time high levels. This was a massive move for Chainlink, and it happened a few months after Bitcoin started its move to the upside, which I think is pretty important. I also just believe Chainlink is a heavily undervalued coin, and I spoke about that a lot. Just over the past 4 months, I just think Chainlink is a very undervalued coin, but I do feel that's important. I think this is probably the most important line that I'll be looking at for Chainlink, is link against Bitcoin. We can also look at the Bitcoin chart and say, look at its bull market support band. We are above it. We did test it on the last weekly candle. We can see there. So this is pretty important. What's going to happen with this bull market support band? Hopefully we can hold it as support, and Bitcoin can trend higher, and therefore we could see that next run with Chainlink take place as well, as we just spoke about. Lastly, this is the Chainlink versus Ethereum chart, which is pretty important. We had this breakout, which we did speak about quite a bit, and we've simply just like held support, which is pretty solid that we're holding support. And so we might see a move as well, because Chainlink effectively has been in a downtrend since August 2020, which is a long time ago. So to break out and start a move to the upside would be extremely ideal to start to gain some momentum. And if you look at the price increase, the target is still like 140% move against Ethereum, and Ethereum has been performing well. Also, like Ethereum at 3,500 is performing well. So hopefully this plays out, right? It is just speculation, as with everything I've said, but I'm very bullish on Chainlink. I think right now I feel like it's undervalued. I feel like a lot of altcoins have been performing well, and Chainlink is kind of just holding steady. Hasn't really unloaded yet. I think it's a great project with a lot of potential. So stay tuned. I'll continue to do update videos on Chainlink, seeing what happens, how it goes moving forward. So let me know what you guys think. Always interested to hear your guys' opinion. Please give the video a like, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you later.